everybody, Zarkazm here. Welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast. Get my headset adjusted here. Now, this is a special episode. Obviously, at the beginning of the series, I said that I'm not, even though I'm calling this Feed the Beast, I'm not actually using the Feed the Beast launcher. This is kind of my own personal pack that I've put together myself. Which is why it says Zarkazm's FTB in the corner. The version number is just kind of for me, so just ignore that. Obviously, I mean, this is my private pack that's just maintained by me. I have no permission from any of the mod owners to distribute my specific pack and my specific configuration. I don't really plan on asking for permission. Number one, I don't really feel like I'm, I'm not a famous YouTuber by any means, so I mean, why would they care? So I'm just not going to ask. Plus, number two, I mean, it's really not that hard to install these mods on your own, as long as you know what the list is, and as long as you know what you're doing. But before we get into that, I just wanted to take a quick moment and do a couple of shout-outs. I've just been kind of reviewing some of my old videos, some of my playlists, deciding, kind of planning for the future where the channel is gonna go and where we're gonna go as a community. And there were just a couple of names that I wanted to throw out there as a thank you and an appreciation. I don't really know a way to word it. These really aren't in any particular order. So there's no order of importance, but it's just a handful of names here. First of all, going back to my Baldur's Gate Let's Play, which I'm still doing. I haven't had time to edit the videos, and the last couple videos I've recorded were before I got my headset replaced, so the audio is like really shoddy. I'll be uploading those, and I'm just going to apologize in advance now, but I apologize for the audio quality in advance now. But going back to that Let's Play, shout out to I can never pronounce his name, Eos99. He was really one of the only ones commenting on that series about some secret hidden items to get, and a couple of tips. So just shout out to him. Moving on to my Tech It series, two people come to mind that really commented on a regular basis. I really had a good interaction with. That was Fenrir Strife 1. Which he's kind of disappeared. I haven't really seen him on any of my more recent videos. But Fenrir Strife 1, he's had a lot of equivalent exchange information and a lot of industrial craft information that he shared with me, a lot of tips. And then there's Theo 4774, which I still see him commenting every once in a while. Appreciate your comments. Those of you that don't know, Theo 4774 is mostly the reason why there is the 2-hour Tech It special video. It was kind of his idea, and we kind of threw some ideas back and forth, and that video came out of that, basically. There's now moving into Feed the Beast. As of me recording this, I've got 15 parts uploaded. I actually have another 11 already recorded. I just haven't uploaded yet. And there are there are 4 specific people that I want to just want to have a mention here. That and again, no particular order. These are just people that I've noticed that comment frequently, almost every video. A couple of them even have a competition on who comments first. And I just want to shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate all the comments. And just the activity, just to show that the videos are actively being viewed and people are actively enjoying them. And those people specifically are My Name Has Game, the Gaza Man 2000, Kyle Reed, and Mr. Mazza 1998. You guys are commenting on almost every video. You always have something positive to say, and I just want to say, thank you. I appreciate. I appreciate your activity and I appreciate your enthusiasm, so keep it up. Those of you watching that are subscribed and don't comment, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But, I encourage you to at least like and favorite videos to support the series. Show me that it's content that you continue to want to see. I know Baldur's Gate, for example, is kind of on the lower view spectrum of my videos, and it may be because most of you guys are Minecraft people, which is fine. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. I am going to continue that series. I actually thought about stopping it, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to just leave it hanging. So I just, and plus it's a good game, so I'm gonna keep that going to the end. There are other games that I'm going to be doing. You know, I've always said I wanted to do a playthrough of the first Diablo, um, and I also have a couple of first-person shooters and real-time strategy games in my mind that I want to do a single-player playthrough of. You know, I'm not much of a multiplayer person, as you can tell, so I'm more of a single-player story kind of person. So that's, you know, once again, thank you all the names I mentioned. You know, I appreciate all of you, really, and those of you that don't comment. You know, if you want to comment, you know, even if it's just something to say, you know, just whatever, comment whatever. It doesn't have to be anything special. You know, just to show, you know, that you're actively enjoying the videos and it's content that you want to see. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, subscribe. I try to put out videos once a day, except for the weekends. Lately, my internet's been having some trouble, so uploading has been sporadic over the past few weeks. And of course, I do have a full-time job outside of this, so, you know, sometimes work gets in the way. It happens. You know, I'm 24 years old. I'm married. Been married for 5 years. Have a dog. You know, real life happens. It's not that I'm doing this and I don't, you know, I'm not doing this full time. I can't. Maybe if I was, you know, Simon or Lewis of the Yogscast, but I mean, I can't do this full time. I'm not there yet. I wouldn't mind getting there, but I'm not there. So anyway, enough talk. I've talked for several minutes now. So what this video is mainly about is my mod list. I said I was, you know, in the beginning, in the first few episodes, or the first chunk of episodes, you've been seeing how I've been enduring some crashes, and I was going to change up my mod list a bit and try to get my little private pack more stable. And once I got it stable, I was going to do a mod list video so that way you guys can download the mods individually, install them on your own, because like I said, I can't distribute a pack, I can't distribute mods. You know, that's not my place, and I don't have permission to do that. So this is what this video is going to be. It's going to be to educate you guys on the mods that I use and kind of the trouble I went through to do them. Now, this isn't going to be a how to install video because, quite frankly, I mean, I've been playing Minecraft since beta. 1.7.3 was the first Minecraft I played. I know a lot of people that have been playing since alpha. At this point, if you don't know how to install mods, you haven't been playing Minecraft. I mean, I know there's new people coming to it every day, but if you're playing the PC version of Minecraft, you should know how to install mods by now. It's been one of the kind of center things. All of my mods, with the exception of a few, are Forge mods that you just place the jar or the zip in the mods folder, bada bing bada boom, it's good. You might have to adjust some configs for conflicting IDs, but that's not hard. You know, if you have Notepad or if you're on a Mac, you have text edit, which I don't recommend text edit, I recommend Sublime. That's just me. You know, it's easy. It's easy to do. There's plenty of guides out there as well to instruct you how to install Forge, how to install ModLoader if you still use ModLoader, and just whatever else. So, all right, so let's get started. First of all, as you can see, I'm using Minecraft 1.4.7. Oh, yeah, we can kind of hover over this. I'm using Minecraft 1.4.7. At this moment, I'm using Minecraft Forge 6.6.2.534, which is the latest Forge for Minecraft 1.4.7. Obviously, they've already moved on to the 1.5 or 1.5.1, I guess, at this point. Now, I will say that, in my opinion, I feel like Forge 5.34 isn't as stable as the last version of Forge I was using before this, which was 6.6.0.518 was the version I was using before this. I feel like this one, 5.34, has changed a little bit how world gen and world tick events happen and world rendering things, and I feel like it's not as stable. I don't feel like it's not as smooth. And maybe that's Optifine because I did upgrade my Optifine version at the same time. But who knows? So the only reason why I had to upgrade to 534 was because of Zycraft. Oh, and Industrial Craft. They both require kind of a higher version of Forge. Everything else, all the other mods I'm using, I think only require 516, Forge 516. Thermal expansion, I think, might require 526, but I'm not sure. Most of the mods will have listed what Forge version they're built off of. So what I'm using here at this moment, 534. I have Optifine the HD Ultra D5. Before I upgraded, I was using the HD Ultra C3, I think, and it did just fine. So I don't know, it worked just fine for me. Let's take a look. I also have Light Loader installed because I have the voxel menu, which those of you that are playing FTB Feed the Beast packs, such as the Minecraft pack, I think it's the Minecraft pack that uses it. It also uses the voxel menu, so it has this interface and it has a little music player, which I can't seem to get to work, and the versioning stuff. And this button is configurable. There's a config file to change what the label is up here and what this says and what server, what URL it goes to. So I've been playing with that. Let's take a look at, well, texture pack. Obviously I'm using Sphax. I used to hate it, but I've grown to love it, and I can't play without it anymore. I've thought about I know someone requested change it up a bit, and I may, but for right now I'm pretty much Sphax all the way. Light Loader is installed into the jar just like Forge, and it's specifically for Light Loader mods, which is the voxel menu, the voxel player, and I think one other thing. Forge mods. Actually, I'm gonna start a game instead. This is an old world that needs to go away. That world we don't want to delete. Okay, let's create a new world. What should we call it? Well, how about muck? We're gonna muck around about. We're gonna muck around about with some mods. Muck does not evolve into muck around about. Oh, that's the end. Oh, whatever. A little Pokemon reference for you there. Sure. I always allow cheats just for the fact so I can type in commands if I have to. Bonus chest, not really. Okay, so let's create a world. A world to muck around about in. Now, some of the mods that I have installed in this particular profile that I use for recording are a tad bit unstable on the world generation side. So hopefully this doesn't just completely air out. So as for the jar mods, what I'm going to call the jar mods, or what Feed the Beast calls Insta mods, the Insta mods folder, Forge goes into the Minecraft.jar, Optifine goes into Minecraft.jar, Raise Minimap goes into Minecraft.jar. I think you can put it in Forge as well, or into mods, but I've always put mine in the jar directly. Light Loader, and then finally I have what's called More Village Biomes installed, which increases the spawn rate of villages. Hurry up and load, world, come on, we have mods to go through. There's 3 versions. There's normal, medium, and high. I don't remember what the high one's called. Ooh. Lots of chickens. Okay. Yeah, now this is, yeah, okay. I have the medium version installed. The normal version, yes, I know you're updated to 1.5. The normal version is just the normal spawn rate, but, oh, there's the chicken. But the, the villages, the buildings are changed. Now, since I have the medium, more villages than normal install. Is that a jungle temple? Like, right there? Holy crap. It's floating in the air. Okay, cool. We'll make that our little base for this video. Why not? Why not? So yeah, more village biomes. Make sure you grab the, like I said, I'm using the medium, so it increases the spawn rate, and it has the customized villages where they're made out of different material than normal. But the high, from what I understand, the high is like a ridiculously high spawn rate. It's like cities. Is the entrance in here? Bollocks. So anyway, I'll just continue talking. Now, other mods I have installed, obviously I have, there it is, not enough items, and I have NEI plugins, which until recently wasn't updated. It was targeting an older version of not enough items, so it just stopped working. But I have NEI plugins. I also have the specific red power plugin done by the same guy that does, turn that off, well no, I need that on, that does not enough items. That is Code, no not Code, Chicken Bones, that's his name. It's done by Chicken Bones. And of course with that there is the core mod of Code Chicken Core to allow you to install not enough items and the plugin. Other Chicken Bones mods that I have installed are Ender Chest, which we should be familiar with from Tekkit. Ooh, somebody bought a TV. Just looking out my window for a second. You should remember Ender Chest from Tekkit. There are now Ender Tanks, which I haven't had a chance to play with, so definitely need to check that out at some point. Screw you, levers. I'm just gonna dig in here and get the treasure. Oh, looky there. I also have chunk loaders, which is basically, it's Chicken Bones' version of world anchors. Oh. There we go. Well, that was worthless. Yes, it's Chicken Bones' version of world anchors. Alright, cool. I'll stand up here where it's nice and bright. Alright, now let's go down the actual mod list here. Alright, so starting from the top, additional buildcraft objects is an add-on to buildcraft, adds some additional pipes, such as the insertion pipe, which you may remember from Tekkit. I don't have a texture for the diamond power pipe. So it adds some pretty cool pipes. Definitely worth getting. Also, there's the additional pipes mod. Again, it's a add-on to Buildcraft. You'll also remember this from Tekkit for the teleporting pipes, which have been renamed to phased pipes. So those are pretty cool. Teleport tether. Oops. Water pump pipe. Water pump pipe's cool. I think I've shown you guys that already. Advanced power management. This is an industrial craft add-on. This specifically adds charging benches. These are different from the Tekkit charging benches. It also adds these battery stations, a couple other things. So I'll definitely be showing that off in my series. Then we have advanced solar panels. Now this isn't the same as compact solars, which in Tekkit those were the low voltage array, the medium voltage array, the high voltage array. This is a different mod. This adds advanced solar panels, hybrid solar panels, and ultimate hybrid solar panels, which, just to kind of give you an idea, the ultimate hybrid solar panel is the same output as a high voltage solar array for like a fraction of the iron. Let me tell you. A high voltage solar array is like 16 stacks of refined iron, and this is only like 2 or 3 stacks or something like that. It's a lot cheaper. It also adds some advanced solar helmets, hybrid solar helmets, ultimate solar helmet, a couple of ingredients. Oop, messed that up. A couple other plates. So cool stuff, cool stuff. This is all Buildcraft here. They're just separated into little things. Not much has changed from the Buildcraft that's in Tekkit, with the exception of BC Silicon. This adds the assembly table, lasers, some special chipsets, which we'll be looking at in my series. So I don't want to try to spoil things too much. There's of course, oh yeah, Buildcraft has a hopper, which I've already shown. It is not the same as the Minecraft 1.5 hopper. You can't just throw stuff into it through the top. It doesn't work like that. So, and then of course quarries, automatic, you know, all the normal stuff, oil, fuel, the engines. Oh, one thing to note is the here we go. The steam engine from Tekkit has been renamed Stirling engine. I heard a rumor that they don't blow up anymore. But that may be wrong. So don't quote me on that. Next we have the Buildcraft to Industrial Craft crossover mod, which is an add-on for both, and some electric engines that you hook electricity up to generate Buildcraft power. This particular mod, some of these engines need to be cooled, and there are heat sinks that it adds. A couple of generators. I think this goes the other way around. You put fuel into it, and it gives uh, industrial craft power. Oil materializer. I think it's the same thing as the oil fabricator, but I'm not sure. Backpack mod, which is cool. I don't think this is in Feed the Beast at all in any of the packs, which I'm not sure. Keep in mind, the last time I played the Feed the Beast launcher, there was like one pack, and it was on Minecraft 1.4.2. And I stopped using the launcher because A, they were kind of slow to update at the time, and B, for me, my personal experience, the launcher was junk. Memory leaks, it was crashy. I had to start doing it on my own, and I've been doing it on my own ever since 1.4.5 came out, Minecraft 1.4.5. Because Feed the Beast was still on 1.4.2. They only had the one pack. You know, there was no Mindcrack pack. There was no Direwolf 20 pack. No Magic World. None of that. there was the Feed the Beast pack. That's all there was. So I've got the backpack mod, which adds basically a chest, and bigger backpacks add a double chest that you carry around, and then a Ender chest or Ender backpack, which shares the inventory of the vanilla Minecraft Ender chest. So that's cool. Vulcan's Weapons mod you'll definitely remember from Tekkit. I did a whole video dedicated to it. It hasn't really changed much. Yeah, no. I think boomerangs didn't used to exist, but no, it hasn't really changed much. Although you can now smelt the dang items. I know when I did that big episode in Tekkit of Vulcan's Weapons mod, you couldn't do anything with them anymore. You couldn't smelt them. You couldn't condense them in the energy condenser. They were worthless at that point. But I think now you can smelt them, so that's pretty cool. Better furnaces. Now, I'm pretty sure this mod isn't in any of the packs either, and I think I'm going to do an actual mod spotlight on this mod, because this mod's cool. It's it's really cool. I mean, you got all these upgrades. I've already shown you a little bit. It has its own iron furnace, different from the Industrial Craft one, and as you upgrade, they get faster and more efficient. The Extreme Furnace, I would compare it to the Red Matter Furnace from Equivalent Exchange 2, if not faster. It's very quick. Very quick. And of course, all these upgrades, you can adapt them to Industrial Craft, to accept Industrial Craft power, or even Buildcraft power. Increase their fuel efficiency, increase their ore yield, and increase their storage, or allow them to accept straight liquid, which I think they can take oil and fuel. I'm not entirely sure. I've just been piping lava into mine, which works. So, Bibliocraft, which if you watch Dave Chaos in his Chaosville series, you'll see a lot of Bibliocraft. This adds armor stands. Oops. It adds armor stands. It adds bookshelves that you can actually put books on. It adds potion shelves, tool racks, which I've already shown, display cases. It adds measuring tape, apparently. I didn't know that. And of course, as you can see, there are different colors depending on the wood you use. Adds chest labels. Adds these desks and these other shelves. I've actually never made a desk. I don't know what it does. But we'll take a look at that in the actual series I'm doing. I have no idea what this is. Binny Core. Alvery. This must be an add-on for forestry, because that's what the alvery is for. I have no idea what that is. Go back to the mod list. I keep, like, there we go. Scroll down a little bit. Buildcraft. Oh yeah, just the gears and unnamed. What is that? It looks like bedrock. Cool. Charge pads. This is in the Mindcrack Feed the Beast pack, and it's really cool. I don't really know what all of these upgrades do because I haven't really delved into it that much, but it's basically a charging bench in the form of a pressure plate that you just stand on. And you can stand on like 4 at once, you know, just stand on the corner of all 4 of them. I'll be right back. Nyan Cat hijacks the video again. So, alright, now where were we? Oh yes, charge pads. You stand on them, they charge electrical devices that you're wearing or have on your person. It also emits a redstone signal like a normal pressure plate would, so kind of cool. I really like it. Chicken Chunks, like I was saying before, it's Chicken Bones' version of World Anchor, and it's very custom. You can customize the range. There's also these little spot loaders, which I think are just 1 chunk loaders and are a little cheaper. Compact solar arrays is what I was mentioning before. This is what was in Tekkit, the low voltage array, medium voltage array, high voltage array. Although this latest version seems to have added, its own solar panels, which I haven't actually messed with. It looks kind of cool. Oh, there we go. Yep, see, low voltage solar hat, medium voltage, high voltage. Computer craft again. This was in Tekkit. I didn't cover it because I don't really know that much about it. So hopefully I can cover this time. As you can see, it kind of added some additional computers. There's like an advanced computer now where there didn't used to be. Of course, I have the turtles installed as well. I think, well, there's an add-on to this called Computer Craft Sensors. I don't know if that's the turtles or if it's just a thing that goes with the turtles. But there's all these turtles. There's actually a ton more turtles now than there were in Tekkit, I believe. Enchanting Plus, which I've shown you guys a little bit of. It's just a change to the enchanting table UI. It also includes, our more recent version includes a pocket enchanting table. And I actually made this. I didn't really make it. The default texture for the pocket enchanter is basically a stick. And since this is a recent addition, the Sphax texture pack didn't include a texture for it. So I took the pocket crafting table from the factorization Sphax pack, and I took the enchanting table from the normal Sphax pack, and I kind of combined it together, and I made myself a texture basically, just so I'd have something that would match. Otherwise it was invisible. So I went ahead and did that. But those are pretty cool. Ender storage. Ender storage, which gives you the Ender chest and the Ender pouch. You'll remember those from Tekkit. It now includes an Ender tank. I've never personally messed with it. I've seen a video. It looks like it's basically his version of a liquid tesseract. You teleport it from one tank to another across dimension, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. It's only 1 Ender pearl instead of 4, whereas like a tesseract would cost. So I'll probably be checking that out in my private multiplayer world, which I experiment on a multiplayer server, and then I get it down to a presentable level in the single player series. Energy? What is this? Oh, this is thermal expansion. I guess it's just called energy, this part of it. Thermal expansion has its own steam engine, a magnetic engine, and of course the redstone energy cells, which you have seen. Factory, yeah, this factory is also thermal expansion. Portable tank, which I haven't shown. Hardened glass, Aku's, all these machines. Rock wool, which is basically wool that doesn't catch on fire. Unnamed, a lot of unnames. So that's pretty cool. Thermal expansion is a great, I would say, an excellent competitor to a lot of the Buildcraft and Industrial Craft. Actually, really, it's more of a competitor to Industrial Craft than it is Buildcraft, even though it's Buildcraft power. It's like if Buildcraft were to do its own version of Industrial Craft with, make their own version of Industrial Craft machines, that's what thermal expansion would be. It's, just check it out. It's amazing. Factorization, which I haven't delved that much into. I've kind of messed with it on multiplayer, not too much. The Sphax texture for this is incomplete, as you can see here. So I don't know how much I'm going to mess with this in the series, in the single player series. You see the pocket crafting table there that Factorization adds. The Exo armor, which is basically, it's kind of like modular power suit, but not as not anywhere near as advanced. Is that oh, wand of cooling, bag of holding. See, I don't really know what any of this does. So I do know that Factorization has a 4-machine process where you can triple your ore output if you have it all hooked up. So I might have to look into that because that may be worth it. But GregTech, which is another mod I have installed, I haven't got to it yet. GregTech, an industrial craft add-on, also adds new machines and the ability to sometimes triple your output, if not more, depending on how you do it. And that's a whole nother bag of tricks, basically. So there's Factorization. Forestry I have installed, which used to be a part of Tekkit back in the Tekkit 2 days. When Tekkit 3 came out, the Forestry guy kind of had a falling out with the Tekkit people, and so Forestry is not in the Tekkit or Technic packs anymore. But it is in the Feed the Beast packs. I think it's in all of them, actually. So it's definitely a mod worth checking out. It's very in-depth. It has a lot of things to it. It's going to take us a long time to really go through everything that Forestry has to offer. I haven't actually seen that. Fossils and archaeology. I am going to get to this. I didn't add it at first. It wasn't originally in my pack. Sorry, my dog was doing weird things. Anyway, fossils wasn't originally in my pack, so the immediate area where I've got my volcano lair and where the house and the oasis is, there are no fossils in that area because I didn't have fossils installed originally. Someone actually requested that I do the fossils mod, so instead of doing a mod spotlight where I'm specifically doing fossils, I just added it into my pack and we'll show it off at some point. It does take a lot of work. I know Duncan over at the Augscast is doing a series dedicated to fossils, but obviously a lot of the stuff, he's had to spawn in a lot of the stuff because it's insane the amount of time that goes into this mod, the amount of mining you need to do, really. So I'm saving it for later, definitely going to be showing that off. Now, I've got the Gravity Gun mod, which is the Gravity Gun from the Half-Life series. I also have Portal Gun installed. And you might be wondering, why would I have Gravity Gun installed if I have Portal Gun? And I'll show you. I'm gonna spawn in a Gravity Gun. Oh, I'm not in cheat mode. Dang it. Sorry about that. I may not actually finish this recording in one go, but it's kind of a long recording. Anyway, so I'm going to spawn in a Gravity Gun, and I've got the Portal Gun mod installed. Portal. Which Portal Gun I'll just go over right now. Obviously it adds portal guns. I'm personally a fan of the Peabody red and orange gun, so I'll grab that. It has the portal spawners, which is cool. Portal Gun pedestal. That is a Thaumcraft item. Link port, I don't know what that is. It also adds the turrets. Turret. Yep, see. I'm different. I'm different. Oh, my sounds. Oh, my sounds are just turned like way down. Get rid of that. Okay, so anyway, you might be asking, okay, I've got the Gravity Gun. Why do I need... Or I've got the Portal Gun. Why do I need the Gravity Gun? Because the Portal Gun, if you hit G, it does act as a Gravity Gun. But it's not... Oops. It's not as powerful as the Gravity Gun. So you'll notice if I grab this block and I left-click, it kind of throws it. Kind of doesn't. But if I use the actual Gravity Gun, it throws it. It throws it, buddy. Well, pew! Oh, I hit a tree.
Thanks anyway.
Oh, oops. I was going to try to throw him. Oh, but anyway, that's why I have the Gravity Gun installed. Plus, it doesn't require a frickin' nether star to craft. Whereas the Portal Gun, miniature black hole, you need a nether star. So you have to have killed a wither to get a portal gun now, unless you just find it in a chest, which is configurable. Anyway, back to the list. Gravity gun. I have Greg Tech, as I mentioned. It is a huge add-on for industrial craft. I absolutely love it. Most people hate it because if you kind of leave it on its default settings, it manipulates a lot of configs of a lot of other mods. It makes recipes insanely hard, which, I mean, I like, but I know it's a pain for some people, and some of my friends that play in my private server. So I've gone into the config and I've turned off a lot of the expensive stuff. You can't change everything, though, so that's, just a word of caution there. But Greg Tech is amazing. I love all the stuff it adds. I mean, it adds an ability to craft or smelt or create almost anything. You do have to go through a lot of expensive means to do it, but it's fun and challenging, so I like that. Gravitation suit is what I'd like to call an upgrade for your quantum armor, really. It adds a couple other things: advanced lat packs, advanced jet packs. It has an electric version of the Omni tool. Also has an advanced nano suit, which is a recent addition I don't have a texture for. The gravity chestplate, which allows you to fly basically as if you had a Swift Wolf Sprending Gale from Clone Exchange 2. It's very easy to use, very intuitive, and it's you have to have quantum armor to craft it. It's very cool. Where were we? Advanced Machines add-on, you'll remember this from Tekkit, the Rotary Macerator, Singularity Compressor, and the Centrifuge Extractor, and Refined Iron Dust, of course. Imbus Core, which is part of, that does Dimensional Anchors, which you'll remember from Tekkit as well. I don't know what all these blocks are. It has a couple of other things that, yeah, Duplicator, that was also in Tekkit, but it was never really used. Ah, the black hole chest, yes. Can I even craft that? I don't think I can. Black. Yeah, I don't think I can craft that. Tekkit did have a black hole chest, but I don't think he does it anymore. I think it's just still in his core file. Back to this, of course we have Industrial Craft, and it's pretty much the same as the Tekkit Industrial Craft. I can't really think of a difference off the top of my head. Yeah, so that's all pretty much. Oh, actually there is a difference. The nuclear stuff has changed a whole freaking lot. Those night vision goggles? Huh. Cool, cool. Iron chest, also again from Tekkit, although Tekkit didn't have the obsidian chest. That's a recent addition, which is basically, it's a diamond chest that's indestructible. Just like the crystal chest is a diamond chest that's clear. So this is a cool thing there. Logistics pipes, I don't think this was in Tekkit, but it's another Buildcraft add-on that adds a bunch of complex pipes, really expensive to make, and I have no clue how they work. So I may not get into that, but we'll see. Modular power suits, plenty of videos on this. It's an amazing mod. It's cheap, but yet complicated and expensive. I'll definitely be going over that in my series. Minecraft, no, wait, that's not a mod. What is that? I did have the modular force field mod installed originally, but I had some compatibility issues, so I removed it. Miscellaneous peripherals is what is this? Oh, I think this is an add-on to ComputerCraft. Yes, yes it is. So I have no idea what's in this. Multi-page chest, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like the black hole chest, only instead of unlimited pages, it has 5 pages, and they're really huge pages. That's pretty cool. Mistcraft, which I think is in every Feed the Beast pack. It's amazing. It's actually based off the original game Myst. Myst is an actual game from like 1995. It's a pretty cool puzzle game, and there's a whole series of them. There's like 5 or 6 Myst games. So if you're interested in puzzle games and you're interested in Mistcraft, and it's very similar, there's linking books. You go into ages by reading a book. You recover pages with different things on them. There's people trapped in ages and books. It's pretty cool. So it's the mod is very true to the game in my opinion. So and all the symbols, all the symbolism. It's like an alien language in the Mist universe, so it's definitely worth checking out. Nether ores, you'll remember from Tekkit, although now it has additional ores. You got the vanilla emeralds. It has all the red power ores now, the rubies, sapphires, nicolite, lead. It has lead, which is from, I think it's from factorization. Couple other things. Nuclear control, that was in Tekkit. It's an add-on for industrial craft, adds like thermometers, the the ever so infamous alarms. Obsidian pressure plates, which is a simple mod, just adds a pressure plate that you make out of 2 obsidian that only players can trigger. Of course you'll know the wood pressure plate and the stone pressure plate. The differences being wood pressure plate can be triggered by anyone. Everyone and anyone can be triggered by players and monsters and by throwing items on it. The stone pressure plate will not respond to items thrown on it, but monsters and players can trigger it. Obsidian pressure plates is specific to the player, so if you want a pressure plate on the outside of your door that a zombie can't trigger when he comes to break it down, the obsidian pressure plate is for you. Omni Tools is by the same guy that does thermal expansion. This is a universal wrench that goes across all mods. Forge Lexicon that allows you to exchange one ore for another of the same ore. Like, out of all the mods I have installed, I have like 4 kinds of copper and 4 kinds of tin, and I'll find that in the world, and it just takes up so much space. But if you make this lexicon, you open it up, throw your ore in there, and then you can select the ID that you want, and then get that same ore back out. So you can make it stack. The mystical plinth, I don't know what it does because I've actually never made the Omni Wrench, so I don't know how that works. Petroleum generator is very simple. It just converts fuel. You pipe fuel into it and it creates electricity, and it's actually a lot more efficient than GregTech's diesel generator. It provides more energy, so that's kind of cool. Let's continue scrolling down. We're almost to the end. Portal gun, which I pretty much already covered. It does add some musical discs as well, and it's a very work in progress on a lot of things. Power converters you'll remember from Tekkit, but it's not the same. In Tekkit you had the energy link, you had engine generators, you had water strainers. That was part of power converters. This power converters, the original mod maker has retaken the mod and he's changed it. And I've already kind of shown it off in my series. You have an energy bridge, you put an input module and an output module of the specific energy that you're inputting and outputting. So that's pretty cool. Red power, of course, which really hasn't changed from Tekkit, except it does have a whole plethora of new lights, fixtures, caged lamps, and inverted versions that are on until powered, which is cool. But yeah, everything else I think is pretty much the same. All of the things that were originally called Emerald are now renamed Green Sapphire, but you're going to hear me still call them Emerald because that's just what I'm used to. Because I'm a Tekkit person, I'm more of a Tekkit person than I am a Feed the Beast person, so I'm used to calling it Emerald. Railcraft, of course, has actually changed a lot since Tekkit, so we'll definitely be going over those. I didn't really get a chance to show that much of Railcraft in Tekkit because I kind of started it late. So I'm going to try to do this more, but we'll see. Soul Shards, a pretty cool mod. You can basically create monster spawners. I'll just leave it at that. There's plenty of videos on how to, you kill a monster, trap their soul in a shard, and you basically create monster spawners. So it's pretty cool. Whoops. Steve's Carts, you'll notice there, that's actually Steve's Carts 2. There is a difference, but it's like Railcraft on drugs. I mean, you basically create a minecart and you create modules for the minecart and all sorts of nifty things. Definitely be going over that. Now, a mod that I did have originally in my pack that I had to remove is called Tinker's Construct, and I would say I compare it to Steve's Carts as it's the Steve's Carts of tools. You create, instead of crafting a tool in a crafting table, you create individual pieces. You create a pickaxe head and a handle and like a tie and of different material, and then you add things to it, and it adds individual stats. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a mod spotlight on it because it's really cool, but I don't have it in here anymore. I had some compatibility issues. Thaumcraft, everyone should know Thaumcraft by now. Thaumcraft 2 was in the Technic pack, not Tekkit though. This is Thaumcraft 3, so it's changed a bit. Thaumcraft 2 had, it implemented what was called taint instead of flux. So, you know, whenever you were releasing negative energy into the world, it created taint, which actually, it was like a purple field that just spread throughout dirt blocks and infected things that touched it. You don't do that anymore in Thaumcraft 3. It's a lot different. Thaumic Bees is an add-on for not only Thaumcraft but also Forestry. Which reminds me, I also have extra bees installed and I didn't notice it. So there's 2 bee add-ons to Forestry there, and we'll definitely be getting into that. Twilight Forest, this was also in the Technic pack, but not Tekkit. And this, you know, as you've already seen in my series and in others, this adds a whole new dimension of cool dungeons, all sorts of new things. Very amazing. Thermal expansion, I guess this is where the rest of the stuff is located. You know, like I said, you've already seen most of that. Chocobo Craft, which is a little buggy. I'll be getting into that, but not right now. I'm just not ready to get into it. Traincraft I consider to be a Railcraft add-on because you can't really do much of it until you get more into Railcraft, and it's basically creating these, you know, uber locomotives, yeah, up to speed trains. I mean, it's really cool. I'll have to get more into that, but it is a bit work in progress, and a little glitchy. So, but it's okay. So we'll take a look at it. Transformers is another Industrial Craft and Buildcraft conversion mod. It also adds its own electric engines, as you can see here, but they don't have to be cooled, unlike the other crossover mod. So that's good. And it also adds these pneumatic generators, which I believe is just the other way around. You just like the engine generators that used to be in Tekkit, you input Buildcraft power, outputs Industrial Craft power, and it adds. It also adds a high voltage wooden conductive pipe because of the adjustable electric engine. So I might get into that. We'll see. Transport, that's part of thermal expansion. Thermal expansion, they need to get their stuff in one area, I swear. Wireless Redstone Chicken Bones Edition. You'll remember this from Tekkit. Here we go. Wireless receiver, transceiver, jammer, a couple other things, the ingredients, the remote control, things like that. And of course, finally, Zycraft, which I just recently installed. It's definitely work in progress. Up until recently, all it was just decorative like lamps and blocks and stuff. Now there are actually machines, which I'll be showing soon. I've already recorded it, but it's basically good for making, so far it's good for making tanks. Item, what is this? Ooh. Huh, interesting. I'll have to take a look at some additional things that Zycraft has to offer. I really don't know everything that's in it, so it'd be pretty cool. Alright, so sorry this video is really long. I just wanted to kind of go through my mod list. Now I will warn you that you do have to do a lot of config editing because there are some IDs in a lot of the mods that conflict with each other, especially Factorization and Industrial Craft was kind of a big confliction. Zycraft and Red Power conflicted with each other. When I first started the pack, I had another mod. I had Saber mod installed, which was, I've done a mod spotlight on it. It's, you know, it adds lightsabers to the game. It conflicted with, what did it conflict with? Oh, it conflicted with Mistcraft actually. But most of the time, what'll happen if you have a conflict, you'll start your Minecraft, it'll crash, it'll tell you in the crash report, usually if you scroll to the bottom, it'll tell you what has happened, and usually it'll be like, so-and-so ID already taken by this block when trying to add this block. And you just go in, say, okay, IC2 copper ore. Okay, so go into the IC2 config, change the config for copper ore. One thing I recommend that you can do if you're having ID conflict problems a lot, install the Feed the Beast launcher, download a pack that has what you're looking for. I'd probably say the Ultimate pack by now, or maybe Direwolf 20 or Minecraft, which will download the configs. And of course, they've already got the ID conflicts resolved. So just grab the configs out of there, or at least grab the IDs from the config, and use those. And that will solve a lot of your problems. Some of the mods that I have that aren't in Feed the Beast, like Better Furnaces, Enchant Plus, Chocobo Craft, and a couple others. Ooh, that's a zombie. Those you'll have to obviously do on your own, but I mean, realistically, it's a trial and error. I'll answer that in a minute. It's a trial and error process. So, I better get out of here before the wife gets mad at me for not answering the phone. So, I've been Zarkazm, and I'll see you next